Eat less, higher quality stuff. If you've got a $400 a week budget on your groceries or whatever, who cares about the number? Eat the highest quality stuff you can eat at that budget and have less quantity than going and getting your ramen noodles, your $1 Big Mac burgers, or whatever the burgers called these days. I don't even know. But if you go the routes of cheap for quantity, you're just going to get fatter, bigger, more dependent and more reliant on those foods. Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Battle Ready Show. For those of you who are new here, my name is Byron Ovenstone. I'm the co-founder of the Battle Ready Fit program, alongside my business partner, Bedros Keuilian. We build out the most savage fucking programming you've ever seen in your life, and we get dope-ass results. But anyway, today we're going to talk about the fact that you're not fat, you're fucking broke. And it's a little bit controversial, and hear me out. Okay, so I've touched on this a couple times where I moved to London in a pretty shitty situation where I underestimated just how expensive London was at the time. So I made a ton of money in the US, out here driving trucks and whatever, and banked a bunch of it away. Managed to pay for my degree in full up front. Because I was foreign, I wasn't eligible for a student loan. So had to be liquid to the price point of the degree, obviously. And then over and above that, I needed to pay for the visas and the immigration lawyers, etc. over and above it. So managed to make out that money, and then I thought I had enough to kind of get me by for a period of time. Turns out my math sucked. I wasn't as good at counting as I thought I was. And long story short, found myself in a pretty shitty situation where I was sleeping in a car and forced to fast on a consistent basis. Now, I've told this story before, and I had some dumb fuck on the internet kind of coming out at me going, "Oh, bro, you know McDonald's do like the £1 burger, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "So why don't you just eat at McDonald's every day?" Because I'm not a fucking moron. That's why. Do you guys understand that when you buy cheap food, it's like putting cheap gas and cheap parts in a Lamborghini? And then ultimately what happens is you fuck yourself up from the inside out. I had the awareness to not do that at the time. So full credit to Elliot Hulse. I watched a YouTube video of his. I was obsessed with his content for a very long time. He kind of spoke to me at a period of my life. And he was talking about the fact that he went through something really similar, where wasn't able to spend a shit ton of money on food, and he had to make some choices. Do I eat good food and healthy food in less quantities, or do I go for like quantity over quality? And then he kind of broke down the whole process for me, and he kind of, well, not for me, but he was so good at his content, I felt like he was speaking directly to me at the time. And he was like, "Hey man, always choose quality over quantity, because if you're eating a shit ton of stuff and it's not healthy for you, you're just fucking yourself up faster." And this was something that I forgot later down the line, and that's why I ended up at 300 pounds and being a fat fuck. But when I was struggling, I made good food choices. I ate less often, but high quality shit, because I didn't want to poison myself from the inside out. So if you are doing that, understand that it's not your fault. These foods are made on purpose to do so. I don't know how many of you have actually paid attention to this shit, but I have. Clearly, I got too much goddamn time on my hands, but I pay attention to this stuff. You know, Doritos have a factory in Texas that's specialized. The only sole purpose is a floor full of scientists who perfect the crunch and the flavor profile of their chips. Like, millions and millions of dollars are spent there every month to make you want to eat more Doritos. Cheetos, they've worked out that every 15th chip, they put double content on. So they put double flavoring. Why? Because if they did it to every chip, it would overpower your palate and you wouldn't want to eat anymore. You'd get to a point, you're like, fuck it, I'm done. But if it's every 15th or so chip, it gives you just enough of a hit to make you come back for more. And then just as you're about to kind of like be done with it, boom, you get hit with that chip and you're like, fuck it, I need more. So understand that this processed food that you're consuming is made to want you making more, want you eating more, want you to consume shit tons more. Because there's a shit ton of money in the business of keeping you fat and keeping you reliant on highly processed foods. So instead of going down the path of easy, why don't you start going down the path of the one ingredient foods like I did, even when I was broke? And this shit pisses me off now because I've done this and I've lived this life, and I also lived the fat fuck life. And I will choose this life every day of the week because I wake up feeling better. I'm better in terms of mental clarity. I'm healthier, fitter, stronger as a result. But there was a time when I didn't make these good food choices, and then ultimately got fatter, more unhealthy, more depressed, more anxious, and everything in between that comes with it. So it's not that you're fat because you want to be. It's fat because you make poor choices in regards to your food. Eat less, higher quality stuff. If you've got a $400 a week budget on your groceries or whatever, who cares about the fucking number? Eat the highest quality stuff you can eat at that budget and have less quantity than going and getting your ramen noodles, your $1 fucking Big Mac burgers, or whatever the fucking burgers called these days. I don't even know. But if you go the route of cheap for quantity, you're just going to get fatter, bigger, more dependent and more reliant on those foods. It's like I had someone the other day on Instagram kind of shit talking me like, oh, I did something about organic food. And the guy's like, well, fuck organic. It's just expensive and they do the same shit. No, they don't. You know, they did a study with strawberries and they pressed the strawberries and then sprayed a field with the pesticides that came out of the strawberry juice. And it was the same quantity as the pesticides that they typically spray on the fields. So understand that if you're eating that shit, you're not putting it into your system. Imagine if it's made to kill bugs, what the fuck is it doing to you on the inside? So I would choose quality over quantity every day of the week. You should do the same. Because the minute that you don't, and the minute that you take those shortcuts and you're like, oh, well, we can eat at McDonald's 5 days a week. Yeah, you can. But then you're going to look like that fucking burger. If that's the look you're going for and you want to be that way, hey man, the world needs losers too. But if you actually want to turn up and be the best version of yourself and leave a legacy, which so many people on the internet are telling you they want to leave, but it's all this. So much fucking noise. I said something to my kid the other day where I was like, the words you say are who you want to be. The actions that you do are the things that you are. Or something along those lines anyway. I fucked it up. I was in a moment of brilliance. But the reality is everyone's out there talking shit and they're not following through with their actions. Like, you want to be better, you want to be healthier, you want to be fitter, you want to be stronger, you want to be more successful, whatever the case might be. If you are putting junk parts and junk fuel in a Lamborghini, it's not going to be a Lamborghini for much longer. Your body is no different. It's a complex machine. And if you fuel it incorrectly, you're fucked. Less is more. Higher quality foods. Prioritize your protein first. Most people underconsume protein, overconsume carbs. You don't need that many carbs. Higher protein, lower carbs, lower fat. You'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll be healthier, and everything starts falling into line. But you take the shortcuts, and then you sit there wondering, why am I fat? Why am I miserable? Why do I want to kill myself? Because you're poisoning yourself, so you feel like shit, which means that your mindset's shit, and everything in between. Better food choices. Quantity is not the answer. Quality is. And ultimately go down that route for as long as possible. And all of a sudden, mental clarity kicks in. Everything gets better. You get hyper-focused in on your vision, on your mission, on your core values, on your purpose, and everything in between. And now things start stacking. The reason Battle Ready, like I said at the beginning, is such a savage fucking awesome program is because that's exactly what we do for you guys. We just simplify shit. Everyone wants to make it as complicated as it needs to be. It doesn't need to be any complicated at all. Simplify. Better food choices. The quality over the quantity. Train, sleep, relax, refresh, rehydrate, and everything in between. And all of a sudden, guys' physiques start changing and they're like, oh my God, you guys are mad scientists. You're amazing. No, we're not. We just kept it simple. We stopped you eating multi-ingredients foods. We had you eating one ingredient food and meal prepping at home rather than eating out all the time. And miraculously, you're less inflamed, you're healthier, fitter, stronger as a result. And then the mental clarity kicks in. And then we have a photo shoot like we did a month or two ago. And guys come in and go, you won't believe it, man, but I've never made this much money in my life. I say, yeah, I do believe it. How can you believe it? Because I did it for me first. It's exactly what I did. I paid attention. I cleaned up my nutrition. And like I touched on at the beginning of this, I forgot that lesson and I went down the other way. And I got fat as fuck. And then everything went sideways. And then all of a sudden it's like, damn, bro, you forgot the fundamentals. Go back to the basics. Clean up your nutrition. Oh my God, I feel better. I look better. I don't have acne everywhere anymore. Like I actually can fucking look decent in the mirror. I'm not fucking popping out everywhere. Oh, okay, cool. I think better. I think clearer. I'm able to stay focused for longer. Because the shit that you put in matters. The shit that you put in gets you the result that you want to get. As soon as you clean that stuff up, then you start doing more of it, and then you can get even more hyper-focused, like I touched on an episode or two ago, where you then start paying attention to how you feel after certain foods, and you really clean that up even further. You take it one layer deeper. And then when that gets too simple and you understand yourself to that level, now all of a sudden you're tracking your calories and your protein and your carbs and your fat, and you understand macros and everything in between. And now it's like, oh my God, I'm this fucking human weapon. Because that's what you were designed to be. You were designed to be a fucking human weapon, and you declawed and defanged yourself by allowing yourself to eat a bunch of shit food and feel like a dick. And you bought into the entire concept of cheap is better. There's a reason a McDonald's burger costs $1. It's because it's like 99% plastic or some shit. And I'm probably going to get fucking cancelled for shit talking McDonald's. But the reality is, you give me a McDonald's burger or no food at all, I will fast rather than eat at McDonald's. It's just my mindset. I refuse to poison myself. Doesn't mean I don't eat out. I eat out all the time. But I choose places that I can eat one ingredient foods from, not highly processed. Like I got a steak fucking quesadilla waiting for me over there. It's steak and it's cheese and it's whatever the fucking wrap is made of. That's it. Simple. Clean. Versus Byron 1.0, who was slamming pizzas and bagels and everything else under the sun and shopped in the middle of a shopping center. That's where all the high processed bullshit food is. Stick to the outskirts, stick to the outside. That's where the single ingredients are. And miraculously, you'll feel better. You'll get better results in the gym. You'll get more financially stacked. You'll have better sex. You'll have better stamina and everything in between because you're functioning like the fucking Lamborghini that you were born to be. Stop using finances as an excuse to make shitty food choices. You have a food budget. If you don't, dial in your goddamn finances. Grow the fuck up, Peter Pan. It's time you acted like a goddamn man. Like, dial in your finances, understand how much money you have per week that you can spend at the grocery store, and then make the best possible quality choices with that budget that you have available to you. And all of a sudden, shit starts falling into place. And then, oh my God, I'm making more money. I feel better. I'm a better husband. I have better sex. I have better this, better that, everything in between. I train better. I look better. I have more confidence. I have more self-esteem. And then next minute, if you're in a job, your boss goes, holy shit, so-and-so, you're turning up a different animal. I'm going to pay you more. I'm going to give you more responsibility. Now you're making more money. If you're a business owner, you're turning up differently. Your team performs better for you. Ipso facto, you make more fucking money. Now you can afford to eat more quality shit, and then don't do what Byron the Dickhead 1.0 did, which was then go and eat copious amounts of shit. Like, yeah, I ate dumb shit food, but I also went to Michelin-starred restaurants like 4 days a week and overindulged in food that I didn't need to be eating 4 days a week. So make good food choices. Stick to the plan that got you successful in the first place. Because once you start making a little bit more money, it's easy to get sidetracked and do a whole bunch of dumb shit. Stay the course. Make the best choices that you can with the budget that you have to hand. Quantity is not the answer. Quality is your answer. And everything else all of a sudden gets very juicy from there. If you need any help with this at all, there'll be a link in the description box below. Click that link. Book a call with me. We'll talk through everything in between, finances and everything else. We'll get you cleaned up. We'll get you dialed in. We'll get you making better food choices. I will coach you through how to shop if you don't know how to. And we'll get you getting the right nutrition in the right quantities, the right training. And I promise you now, a year from today, you won't believe how much of an animal you'll be in comparison to how you show up today. If you don't believe me, sign up. And if I don't get you a result, I'll fucking refund you the money. That's how confident I am. Bet on yourself. Someone has to. Might as well be you. I hope you guys liked today's episode. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next week. Cheers for now.